Salam sejahtera. Alhamdulillah, saya syukur kepada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala dapat kembali ke Parlimen mewakili Port Dickson dan menyuarakan pandangan masyarakat, rakyat untuk kebaikan negara. Tugas saya seperti mana juga didukung oleh Speaker ialah untuk bersama-sama dengan ahli Parlimen yang senior terutamanya seperti Saudara Lim Kit Siang untuk menjana beberapa perubahan selari dengan gesaan yang dibuat dan diperaku dalam manifesto Pakatan Harapan. Kita akan mengusulkan pembentukan beberapa select committee untuk meneliti cadangan dan mengemukakan pandangan baru sekiranya perlu berbincang dengan pimpinan kerajaan. Dan tugas kita ialah untuk memantapkan perjalanan Parlimen, menyokong kerajaan sekarang di bawah pimpinan Tun Dr. Mahathir. Tapi saya ingin mengulangi kenyataan penghargaan saya dengan dukungan yang luar biasa hebat dari penduduk dan pengundi Port Dickson, dan saya akan insya-Allah lakukan sebaiknya. Okey. Sekian, terima kasih.
How do you feel sitting beside Lim Kit Siang, because both of you are the veterans in the Parliament other than Tun M?
Ya, saya gembira kerana duduk sebelah Kit Siang dah lama dulu dalam sebagai ketua mahkamah sebelah dia juga. Sekurang-kurangnya ada ruang untuk saya bincang kerana saya ingat saya akan manfaatkan pengalaman dia juga untuk menentukan beberapa isu yang patut disegerakan dengan sekiranya persetujui oleh kerajaan, dan kami akan mengadakan pertemuan segera mungkin dengan Menteri VK Liu yang bertanggungjawab dan juga dengan Speaker Parlimen.
So what's the biggest challenge for your coming back in the Parliament, and what's the main topic you focus in the future?
As I said, my priority would be to assist the government by implementing part of our manifesto, that is parliamentary reform. Our parliament in the past has been considered or duped as a rubber stamp. MPs would debate, of course, but generally we just endorse whatever has been decided. But here in Pakatan Harapan manifesto, we have actually envisaged a new approach to ensure that the Parliament is more effective through the formation of select committees or various other discussions prior to debates, prior to tabling of laws, and this, of course, will have to be discussed with the minister concerned and also the speaker. But then it will get the full, and it has to be fully endorsed by the cabinet and Prime Minister Tun Mahathir. They have given the green light based on the commitment to the manifesto, and I had actually deliberated at some length with Prime Minister Tun Mahathir how to make sure that the Parliament is deemed to be effective, would serve the constituencies and the people and the nation at large. I'm happy, alhamdulillah. I've been deprived of my right from time to time, and I have to go through a by-election to come back, because as you know, I was denied of my right because I was a serving MP. Every time I was then sent to prison, I was dismissed and had no avenue to appeal to a just court or to be adjudicated fairly. But now at least I feel vindicated in a sense, but then I share that pride with the people of Port Dickson, because people have their wisdom. I've always believed, and I need to reiterate my conviction that I do trust in the wisdom of the masses. There's a limit how elites, how those elites in Kuala Lumpur can think and deliberate or discuss or decide, but finally, you have to trust in the wisdom of the people. Okay?
Malaysians are unhappy when the Pakatan Harapan failed to fulfill their manifesto, especially when Tun he said that it's impossible to abolish the clause. So, would you fight for this manifesto to be achieved?
No, we had considered most of these issues, deliberated upon them at great length in the manifesto. I cannot claim to get any credit because I was just assisting in a limited way when I was in prison. But the key components of the manifesto were actually decided and taken from the earlier Pakatan Hayat manifesto. But the stark realities would demand that we do reconsider and take stock of the financial constraints, the economic realities, and the global trading arrangements. And I think Tun Mahathir is right in that regard to say that some of these issues need to be rehashed or relooked. But the core issues decided by the Pakatan Harapan has been honored. To me, what are the core issues? Issue of governance, issue of anti-corruption, no compromise to waste and abuse of power. And that, to me, a key and fundamental issue that this government must uphold. But if you say that the people would fail to support or fail to realize, well, it is not truly correct, because these problems are also faced by the people of Port Dickson. They understand and they did respond to some of the concerns raised by Prime Minister Mahathir and also members of the cabinet. But finally, when it comes to the crunch, they made the right decision. They do place a lot of trust in the leadership of this government.
What about the impending budget? You were the former finance minister. How much input or what do you hope to contribute to that?
Yeah. As you say, budget must be close to the chest of the finance minister, hidden in these documents. And but of course, Lim Guan Eng empathize with the concerns of the people. That's, to me, most important. I've had series of discussions. He appreciates fully the concerns. He appreciates fully the difficulties, economic problems faced by the people. But he has to deal with the actual prevalent economic realities, financial constraints. And this is the fortunate or unfortunate position that any finance minister has to deal with. Okay?
Dato Sri, aside from your first order of the day, which is getting parliamentary reforms on the ground, will you be having any day-to-day dealings with the current government administration? Or will you be involving yourself with the cabinet or in any form of government way?
No, I've said to Prime Minister Mahathir, I've said that I will only support and give my contribution through Parliament and parliamentary reforms. But of course I will interact with the ministers, I will interact with the MPs, but that's part of the job of a Member of Parliament.
Has he communicated a timeline in which you might be taking over from him?
No, I don't think that's an issue as far as I'm concerned. Let him have, and I reiterate, the space, the latitude to continue unaffected by these constraints of time or pressure. But that's very important, because some of the decisions that has to be made by Prime Minister Tun Mahathir and the cabinet are very key fundamental decisions of policy, of reversing the decisions of the previous government, and that would need total unequivocal support by the Pakatan Harapan, and that includes me.
Excellency, in the side of investigations regarding one entity and corruption cases. The Anti-Corruption Commission was saying that some of the countries not cooperating, like Saudi Arabia and Emirates. How can you deal with this issue in the process of investigations?
Yeah, I mean, the government would require all the support of most governments. We do understand that some are not as forthcoming, but I think when accused of abuse or clear corrupt deals or dubious deals, it is only to be expected that governments do give their cooperation. I wouldn't dwell at it at length because we are still trying to explore the possibility of getting all governments concerned to respect the decision of the people, or at least honor that principle of good governance, that whatever has been squandered from the public must be returned to the rightful either government or the people. And I think this to me very fundamental Islamic principle, fundamental principle of governance, and no country should abdicate that responsibility. It is not a political decision. I would appreciate the countries may choose not to cooperate or collaborate if an action is deemed purely political or political harassment. But in this case, we would adduce evidence, we would submit probably documents to prove that there are compelling case that formal investigations must be conducted and all governments must respect that.
Last question. Now that you're an MP, are there any ideas of...
Oh, I forgot that. I mean, you remind me I'm an MP.
Well, now that you are one, are there any ideas or proposals that you feel strongly about that you are going to champion in this term?
I only believe that political leaders or elites must represent the conscience of the majority of their people. I'm always also sometimes cynical with this sort of rhetoric or debates or discussions by elites that is quite a disconnect or not related to the real problems encountered with the people. And I think it is partly my duty to remind the political elite that the success of any government or any budget or any economic policy must be shared by the common people. We have to deal with the problem of abject poverty, which we must deal with, notwithstanding whatever economic problems that we encounter. And we cannot continue to talk about propelling economic growth whilst condoning gross inequality between our citizens. Okay, terima kasih banyak.
Tadi Presiden cakap ingasi Datuk nak kembali ke Parlimen. Mungkin perasaan Datuk boleh kembali bekerja dengan
Dan saya hadir di Parlimen dan dalam Pakatan Harapan, dan saya ulang hampir tiap ucapan di Port Dickson untuk membantu dengan Tun Mahathir, dan saya lihat kesediaan dia untuk bagi kerjasama itu sangat luar biasa. Dia hadir ke Port Dickson itu pun luar jangkaan kerana memang pada prinsip dia selama ini tidak terlibat dalam mana-mana pilihan raya kecil. Sebab itu sebaik menang, dia adalah di antara orang pertama yang saya lapor, maklumkan berita baik itu. Dan tadi pun sebelum angkat sumpah saya sempat bersalaman untuk beritahu bagi pengakuan bahawa tugas saya adalah untuk memastikan kerajaan ini stabil, kukuh dan di bawah pimpinan Tun Mahathir. Tidak. Ketua whip, ketua backbencher itu kerja lain. Saya hanya di penyokong ketua whip dan kerja lebih relax gini kan. nak jumpa siapa boleh, nak cakap apa pun boleh. Kalau kedudukan yang formal itu akan memberi beberapa kekangan. Terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Bersalam dengan isteri.
Macam my wife that early tadi. Tun Mahathir ya, dia tangguhkan dia ada mesyuarat pagi tadi. Azizah pagi-pagi dah ke bilik mesyuarat. Itu dia tangguhkan awal sedikit untuk membolehkan beliau dan jemaah menteri hadir masa upacara angkat sumpah. Dan saya tentunya terkesan sampai begitu maknanya tentang semangat persaudaraan kita. Terima kasih. Itu komen, saya bukan komen.
Sorry, just to clarify, you won't be, there's no talks of you assuming any cabinet ministerial position, yeah? Just the
Are you proposing one? No?
I am not in a position to.
If you do, I can consider. No, I stand to with my earlier decision that I don't intend to serve any position. I'm happy with this position.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.